we hear a lot here in the U.S. and internationally in general about censorship and that there's no freedom of speech, etc. And so one of the things I'd like to do is just sort of give a rundown of some of the policies that have been enacted under the Chavez administration in the last 10 years, as well as one before he came into office, and then sort of allow us to make our own opinion about press freedoms in Venezuela. In 1987, 2 years before Chavez was elected, there was a law passed that did a few things. First, it dated certain broadcasting license of television companies, which means that, for example, a station like NBC or ABC, they were given a broadcasting license, and it said, this is when your concession will be up, and this is the date in which you can either renew it or it will be canceled, depending on what the person in power to make that decision decides. Secondly, this law in 1987, again, that was passed by the previous administration before Chavez, gave all of that authority to the executive to do it in whichever way he wanted to do it, he or she. Here in the U.S., the FCC has that right. They make the decisions. In Venezuela, it's the executive. That's important because, of course, many of you have heard about the RCTV case, which I would say is probably the pivotal case that the opposition and people in general sort of use to criticize Venezuela around press freedoms. And so it's important just to know that there was actual policy that gives the right to the president to determine such things as broadcasting license renewals, et cetera. And I'll get more into that specifically in a few minutes. Secondly, in 2000, 2 years after Chavez was elected in 1998, there was an important law that was passed, and it enacted new policy towards the media in Venezuela. And it was called the Law of Social Responsibility in Television and Radio. The reason why this law is important is because for the first time it took into account things that many grassroots groups, the Catholic Church in particular, and others felt needed to be addressed in the media. So, for example, it said that when we think about broadcasting in the TV, in radio, in newspaper, but primarily TV and radio, we have to think about how much time is put towards education, how much time is put towards culture and diversity, how much time is put towards putting on programming during certain hours when children are most likely to be watching television, and what kind of programming is that. So quite similar to some of the laws that we have here. And one of them, I would say, an important part of that was that it did change one thing, and that was that they had certain hours that you couldn't have violent programming like explicit language, sex, violence, and things like that. And so, you may have heard recently there were some headlines that, Chavez took off The Simpsons in Venezuela. And really, actually, that's a reflection of this law being enacted because it was on during a time. And of course, if you've watched The Simpsons, you know it's an adult show. It's not a cartoon for children because of the violence and other things. But anyway, just to give that as an example. So this law of social responsibility also gave the consumer and the audience more rights in the sense that they now had a way in which they could hold broadcasters, news outlets, and promoters accountable. And they knew what their rights were. They knew that there was a certain time that certain programming should be there, and they knew that they also should be reflected in that programming. And that's really important because now for the first time you had people in places in rural areas that knew that they were supposed to see someone like them on television. So this was important in sort of seeing where television and the media in general was going to go in Venezuela in the last 10 years. So you have that context. Now, of course, we've heard, particularly here in the U.S., that there's no freedom of speech in Venezuela and that journalists can't really say what they want to say, and if they do say anything against the government, they're going to be put in jail, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I would invite you to go, and American journalists do this all the time, so they really should know better and shouldn't be reporting this, but you can go on the internet, see any of the major television programs, go to the newspaper sites, listen to some of the radio programming, and certainly you're going to see a lot of condemnation of President Chavez and his policies still today in Venezuela, every single day. There's also been, some people have said that, well, some of those private media companies have sort of toned down their anti-Chavez accusations because they're worried that, you know, maybe the government will take action against them, they could lose money, they'll be shut down, etc. But others argue that actually, since the majority of the population votes for Chavez time and time again, that they're really just doing the smart thing, which is trying to make sure that they still have viewers. So that means instead of in their, you know, news hours calling Chavez the devil, they just call him, I don't know, a fat bureaucrat. I mean, you know, it's that sort of level of change that we're talking about, that people say that, you know, people feel so oppressed that they have to change their editorial line, which is not going on at all, I would argue.